Well, I'm standing right now on the corner of Hawthorne Avenue and Matthews Street here in Smyrna. Just a short distance from this location is where the home of Buck and Betty Graham was originally located. Then on January the 7th, 1953, our church was founded in their home. I'm now seated on the steps where our first permanent building was located, right here on Hawthorne Avenue in Smyrna. As you can see behind me, unfortunately, nothing remains of the original building because sadly, that building burned several years ago. These steps, though, will forever serve as a reminder that from very humble beginnings on a side street in Smyrna, Georgia, God has led our church to have not only a local, but a global impact, because it is from these steps in the past that God has led us into our future. Under the direction of Pastor Arnold Ford, we purchased an abandoned church on Hawthorne Avenue, which was owned by the historic Mount Zion Baptist Church. Amazingly enough, we acquired this building and the property for only $550. After just a few weeks of meeting in homes, the church was refurbished enough for our congregation to begin using the facilities, and then it wasn't long before an addition for Sunday school facilities began to take place because of the blessings of the Lord. Well, I'm standing here at the front doors of the former Smyrna Presbyterian Church. This building was purchased under the direction of Pastor T.C. Hardy, and the congregation acquired this building in 1963. It would be 3 years later that Pastor Harris Fennell would begin serving as the pastor of our church, and under his direction and leadership, the blessings of the Lord continued to be poured out. The church experienced some wonderful growth. There were expansion projects that took place, but this campus was our home for a total of 20 years before moving to our current location on King Springs Road. In 1982, we sold the Church Street facilities to First Baptist Church of Smyrna, and in January of 1983, we moved to our current location on King Springs Road. Sunday morning worship services were held at Griffin Middle School, our next door neighbor, and they so graciously allowed us to use their facilities for our worship services. Wednesday night services were held at that time in a portable mobile chapel here on our campus. We're currently in the chapel that's used now by our student ministries and children's ministry, but this was actually the initial sanctuary of the property here on King Springs Road. The first service was held in July of 1984, and as the blessings of God continue to be poured out upon us as a church, plans were made for the construction of our new worship center, and the groundbreaking ceremony took place in July of 1997. We're currently standing in our worship facility where, as you know, the Spirit of God continues to be poured out every time we gather. I'm so thankful for Pastor Harris Fennell and the wisdom that God gave him to see this building come to fruition. In January of 1998, the church called upon Pastor John Fennell to provide strategic leadership as we would occupy this building and as the vision of God would continue to unfold. In August of 2003, you welcomed Missy and I and our family to begin serving and laboring with you when you elected me as your next pastor. For these last 14 and a half years, we've been so humbled to stand with you, to partner with you, and to labor with you so that we might continue seeing God's plan and His purpose unfold for us as a church family. As represented by the flags that you see behind us, our church has a presence not only locally but globally. These flags represent either where we support missionaries around the world or some for families within our church. From our very humble beginnings on Matthews Street, and then Hawthorne Avenue, and then Church Street, and now to King Springs Road, God has allowed us to continue to grow and our influence to literally reach around the world. We're so grateful for you to be a part of that. We're so thankful for the blessings of God and the vision that God has for us. As we look backward over the last 65 years, we do so with gratitude and humility. And as we look forward, we do so with excitement and passion because we're committed to seeing the plan of God continue to unfold in front of us. God placed our church in the city of Smyrna 65 years ago. We have so much for which to be thankful. And as we look backward over those 65 years, we can see the hand of God on our church, leading us, guiding us, empowering us to take the gospel from our neighbors to the nations. As we stand here at the hub, the center, if you will, of Smyrna, our commitment is to continue serving this great community in every way possible, but also committed to taking the gospel around the world. Thank you for being a part of this journey, regardless of if you've been here for just a few days, a few weeks, or even a few years. You are part of what God has in His heart for our great church. Thank you for being a part of that.
Falls upon their knees or dares to speak the truth that sets men free. Anytime the choice is made to stand upon the word, I know God is on the move, on the move. Hallelujah. God is on the move in many mighty ways. God is on the move, on the move. Hallelujah. God is on the move, on the move. Stirs a searching soul, and someone says, send me, here I go. I know